sound of today's Michelleology Innervolution meditation. As the sound of the bowl rings, it is an indication that it is time to go in to our minds, to our purpose, to our destiny. It is a sign of victory. It is a sign of power. It is a sign that we have everything that we ever thought we needed. So, on Wonderful Wednesday, on Winning Wednesday, we are moving into, still in the season of Lent. And I've suggested that you fast from negativism, that you fast from judgment, and judgment meaning judging yourself as well as others. Fast from saying words that do not bring clarity or express something higher within yourself. All of these things, as we begin to move into the realm of expectation, as God is constantly on a daily basis taking us higher. We're going wider. We're lengthening ourselves. We're just going to a depth of who we be. We're not trying to be. It's just who we be. And today, I want to meditate on the power of mastering your life. Have you ever given any type of thought that God has given you the power? He has left an inheritance. You know, when it says we should leave an inheritance for our children, it's not necessarily talking about money. It's talking about the power of mastering their lives and your grandchildren's lives and your great-grandchildren's lives. That's a legacy that can never be destroyed. You know, money is going to run out because it has no value. But the legacy of leaving the power to master your life is endless, it's priceless. And so today, you know, I had a dream last night that, I don't know if you've ever seen, if you went to a picnic and you're getting ready to put a blanket out and how you throw it up in the air to straighten it out. And so there's a force of wind that comes under it that causes the blanket to hit the ground, but it's straight and it's in place. So the dream that I had was that God was doing that with my life, just sending a wave of wind to straighten out the wrinkles. And it was like a floating, like I was floating. But as I'm saying the blanket, it was actually my body that it was in the air floating like that. So the intensity of the power of mastering your life, there are some things that you must understand that are already in place, that God has already placed in place for your purpose and your destiny. Remember, God works from the finished product. He didn't start, He finishes before we start. So where you've arrived now is the finished product of what God has already designed for you. The only thing is you have to master the design. God is not going to do that for you. A lot of times I've heard people pray, God, please take this away and please take this away. God is a perfect gentleman. He takes nothing from you. You know, you give it away or you have to conquer it within yourself. He only allows you the power to do those things. And so He does not want you dependent on Him. I've heard that so much. I am dependent on God. He doesn't want you dependent. There's a place where you stop depending and you become independent in Him. in him, which means you are mastering the power that has been given to you, which means you're not praying these prayers that are hitting the ceiling and coming back down because they have no substance, they have no power, they have no integrity, they have no stamina or resilience to what God has actually given to you. So if you're going to have the power to master your life, you have to know one thing is that it is finished. Your life is already finished. It's already purposed. It's already destined. God has already set the bar. He's already set the goal. He's already set the finish line. So what you're doing is you're working from the finish line back to the front. And when you work from the finish line back to the front, you already have won. Oh, that's good. So in mastering your life, the first thing you have to know, you've already won. This is not a competition. This is not a losing situation. You've already won. You already have the medal. You already crossed the line. You've already done that because God's already been to your finish line before you get there, and he's working from the finish line back to the front. And so back to the beginning. So the first thing you need to honor in mastering and having the power to master your life is knowing that you've already won. This is not a competition between God and the devil. God is the supreme being. He is the ultimate power. This is not a competition between whether good or evil prevails. We've already won. So no matter what's going on in life, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what virus is trying to hit the world, you've already won. God is already at the finish line. So everybody's in an uproar about viruses. Everybody's in an uproar. If you are tuned in to God, this happens every so often. So there's always a virus, a disease that's dropped into the universe. And where does it come from? It's created by some man, some government. That's another subject. But when you master your life, when you're connected with God, when you know that it's already finished, then you learn how to be abound and abase. But whatever state you find yourself in, you learn how to be stable. You learn how to be content. You learn how to master the situation. There's not a problem that you'll deal with that you don't know how to master. And so the first thing is you have to know we've already won. The next thing you have to know is that the power of God resonates in you. It is a creative power. It can create anything. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. The power of God is the kingdom that is within you. You can have anything you will or desire as long as you're operating in that power, that creative force, that power that can destroy, but it can create. So the things that you need to destroy in your life, you have the power. The things that you need to create in your life, you have the power. So the second point is all things are possible. Some of these you're just going to have to stop and say, I didn't never realize that. So if God has already finished your life and you've already won and you have the power to overcome any good, evil, indifferent, if you're walking in, then you have the power to master your life. Am I saying you won't deal with some awful things or you won't deal with some evil things? It doesn't matter, because what you'll do is you'll have a different perception. Okay, if you walk into a situation and it doesn't look good and you're reminded of this very day that I dropped this seed in your mind that you have the power to master that. That you have already won. God has already conquered. It is already finished. Then you work from the finished product, which is the solution, and you work it back through the problem, and you will end up perceiving everything that you deal with as a win-win situation. Man, this is good. A win-win situation. You cannot lose. You will not lose as long as you operate in the kingdom of God that is within you. You have not been called and chosen and put here to lose. The win was already in when you were born. So let's work this thing. Let's master this thing. We are the piece of the master. So we are a masterpiece. We contain all the content of God within us. Have you realized this is the power that you operate in? There is nothing, absolutely nothing, and no one can defeat this power. Oh God, I just want to give you a thank you right there. Just praise you right there. Nothing can defeat us. Nothing can tear us down. Nothing can tear us up. We just think it can. And when you change your mind, when you change your thinking, when you implant the power, when you begin to know that you mastering your life with the master, and that you're a masterpiece, and that all things work together for your good, and that nothing to you is impossible, and that all things are possible in God. And then you know that you have the will, the same will of God, and you walk hand in hand with God as you master your life. Wow. If you meditate on this day and night, your life will change immediately. This is the joy of the Lord. This has nothing to do with happiness. This is the joy of the Lord. And as you begin to walk in this, as you begin to meditate in this, as you begin to move forward in this, then you recognize all the possibilities are right in your atmosphere. Everything that you will to be is right in your atmosphere. You have access. You have asking as the king. Asking is walking as the king, not walking as a debtor. You're a creditor. You lend, you don't borrow. Whew, this is good for me. You got to change your vision of who you are. You got to change how you see yourself. You got to change everything in you to be able to focus on. You're no longer a debtor. Forgive those debts. Those debts have been forgiven. Whew. And you're walking as a creditor. A creditor doesn't worry about how much money they have, how many things they have, because they know they have access. Whew. The divine order of access. So, in this Lent season, focus on you having access to the kingdom. Focus on it is already finished. This is not a competition. Focus on you've already won. This fight has been fixed. It's no longer a fight if it's already fixed, because you've already won. So just for a moment, I'm getting caught up. Just for a moment, close your eyes and see yourself as a runner. And you're in this race. And you have people that are in the race that are all around you. But as you hear the gun go off, you're not trying to win. You know you already won. and you can see the finish line. And there's a space between you and the finish line. But as you begin to move towards the finish line, you're not trying to win. You know you already won. And so the pressure drops, the stress drops, the troubles drop, the burdens drop. You know this is not a competition because you have already won. And so you begin to run in this race at your own pace, because no matter who's beside you, it doesn't matter. You're staying in your own lane. And you know that the finish line, the winning circle, is yours. As you move towards that vision, see yourself in every area of your life in this way, and you will be able to master. You will receive the power to master your life. No more trial by error. No more saying, I don't know what to do. You're a winner. And the winner lives in you. Just take a moment and breathe right there. This should relieve some stress in your life right here. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. And I'm motivating you to know that you have the power to master your life. I want you to move in purpose, in destiny, and in victory. And remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating others. May the peace of God rest, rule, and abide, and have sweet communion in your day. And may God's love be your food for the day. Have a blessed one. You've been set up to win.